Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be decorating my very first squishy. I've been kind of addicted to squishies recently, more specifically to squishy decorating videos. I love them. I actually have been watching Moriah Elizabeth and Chelsey DIY. If you don't know who they are, where have you been? They are amazing and so creative and super talented. I'm gonna leave a link to their channels in the description down below so you guys can go ahead and check them out. But anywho, I thought I'd try decorating a squishy of my own, so I decided to start with this super cute cookie by Soft and Slow. Now, the items that I used are right here in case you guys are interested in my process. I used these multiple colors of fabric paint, I used sticks, and I also used 2 brushes. I started by mixing white, brown, yellow, and orange to make a cookie-ish color for the squishy, and instead of making a regular chocolate chip cookie, I decided that I wanted to make it a sugar cookie with marshmallows, because I like marshmallows. I don't know. So I only painted the outer part of the cookie and of course the bottom part. After that was done drying, I saw the cookie and realized that I hated the color. It was ugly, it didn't look like a cookie, it was kind of grayish, so I just mixed more colors. I added a little bit more yellow and a little bit more white into my mix and repainted the squishy. I mean, it also helped because it needed a second coat anyway, so it wasn't all that bad. Once I was happy with the color of the cookie, I mixed my pink paint and a little bit of white to make it extra pastel-y, and I used that for the frosting of the cookie. Now, after the first coat, everything was fine and dandy, and then the horror. I had heard that the Soft and Slow squishies sometimes have a hard time with the paint, like the paint doesn't stick to them so well because they can be like very smooth, and that's precisely what happened with my squishy. The bottom part was so smooth that the paint did not stick and it was starting to tear apart. And the only way for me to fix it was to rip the entire bottom layer of paint and then sand it down to give it a little bit more texture to hopefully help the paint stick a little bit better to the squishy. I was so disappointed about what had happened that I decided not to paint it for now. I was gonna leave the whole bottom of the squishy for a later time, and I was just going to continue with my pink frosting. I added the second layer, and once that was dry, I prepared the color for the marshmallows. I went with a pastel yellow, a pastel blue, and a slightly darker pink. I also decided to use white because I wanted normal colored marshmallows, because, you know, you just gotta have them. Once all of them were done drying, I finally was ready to move on to the bottom of the squishy. And And I learned my first lesson, well, my second lesson. The first lesson was sand the soft squishies. Anywho, I learned my second lesson. When you're creating a color, make sure you make plenty of it, because I ran out of my original cookie color mix, so I had to make another one, which didn't turn out to be the same exact color, and I had to repaint the sides so it would match, obviously, and then I painted the bottom of the squishy as well. So once everything was dry, my squishy was finally complete. I'm so happy with the way that it turned out. It took a little bit of time and I made a bunch of errors, but I am so happy with it. I think it's very cute and it's also very soft. It's not very slow rising, but it was never a slow rising squishy in the first place, probably because it's kind of like a thin squishy. I think it's too thin for a squishy, but I don't mind it. I didn't have a thin squishy before, so now I can finally say that I do. But anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!